the trading post. You must learn, flip cards, comics, profits you earn. Rookies to legends, we break it all down. Teaching you the hustle that runs this town. Analyze the flips, predict who's hot. Bowman autos, refractors, the chase don't stop at the trading post. You must learn. Knowledge builds fortune, now it's your turn.
Hey, it's your Uncle Rob, and welcome to another episode of the Trading Post. Today, I got my man Gello on the line, and Gello's going to talk to us a little bit about Gundam and One Piece. And I'm going to be honest, before Gello, I had never even heard of these. So I definitely want to get into what these genres are about and how they compare to this Pokemon craze. So Gello, have at it, man. What's going on? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. I've never done anything like this before, and you reached out on Instagram, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun. I checked out some of your content. I was like, he seems like a real chill dude. So let's see. I guess talking about the hobby, it goes back to when I was a kid. When I was a kid, my dad was huge into hockey cards. I mean, he probably should have picked a better sport for cards, but that's what he liked.
Okay.
He liked hockey. Now there's 10,000 junk hockey cards that I got to go through. But from a kid, he would bring me and my brothers home like Pokemon packs or like NBA packs or just any sports cards that we were into. So it was something that, I could share with my dad and my older brothers. Growing up, teenager, I got to the point where I was like, no, I'm too cool for Pokemon. I'm too cool for Yu-Gi-Oh, all these trading card games. I still kick myself in the butt for this, but I threw away my Pokemon binder. I threw away my Yu-Gi-Oh binder, but I kept my basketball binder. So I was able to pick this up. So we might be able to go through that a little bit. But I thought I was too cool for school, so I got out of those hobbies. And then years and years went by, and as I'm getting older, I'm looking for more hobbies to do, less things that revolve around going out and getting crazy, more so something where I can hang out and sit down and relax. So that's what kind of led into One Piece. One Piece, I'm a big fan of the anime. I've been watching it since COVID. So COVID, there was a lot of time on our hands to do a lot of nothing, and I watched a lot of One Piece. Let's see. Let me see if I can find a card. Yeah. These two will do for now. So let me crack these out. So One Piece, like I was into it big ahead of time, just because like the collecting aspect of it, like opening the packs. I thought the art was super cool. Like, for instance, this is like a green Zoro leader.
Okay.
So it's a cool card. It's like a high quality card. It's not like Pokemon where that you got whiting on the edges, it's off centered, things are misprint. Like Bandai, they really put quality into their cards. So that's how I kind of got into it. I got into it just like, reminiscing, like, oh, it's like Pokemon, except for I actually know these characters or I know what's going on. And then it came to the point where to get an exclusive set that came out at my local card shop, you had to play in the event to get the packs. So I was like, I have no idea how to play this game. Like, I have no idea whatsoever, but I want these cards.
Okay.
So I bought a starter deck. I went to my local game shop, and the community as a whole, I feel like everybody's super welcoming and inviting and willing to help new people out. So I got into it just to get some cards, but I had fun. I met new people. Picked up a new hobby. So that's kind of how I got hooked into it, primarily for the cards, but also for the camaraderie and competition aspect of it too. Because whenever you get into competitive One Piece or Gundam, then it's exciting. You feel like the competitive nature fires back up, and you get excited about it. You get nervous. You're like sweating a little bit. You're like, oh, am I going to win? Am I going to lose?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I really like about it. So I don't have too much time on my hands to do like all these different hobbies. So I was like a one card game kind of guy. I would go once a week and play and collect the cards. And anytime I stopped at Target and saw they had packs, I would pick some up. And then that kind of like spiraled into buying packs all the time, booster boxes, and collecting cards, which super fun. Um, but One Piece for me playing kind of got a little stale, and there was this new card game that came out called Gundam. So like let's see, this is a Gundam card.
Okay.
So very similar, like super high quality. So I got into Gundam, watched a little bit of it as a kid, but more so for the playing aspect. So I went from not doing, any trading card games or, collecting cards for the longest time to just being, in head over heels. And, it's been, it's been a blessing for sure. Making a lot of friends, picking up a hobby. I mean, it's expensive hobby, but it's fun.
Mhm.
And then, that also kind of kicks off into another side gig where I do a lot of like selling on TCG Player. It's basically, I'll say, I have four of these cards. I don't need another one. So let me just put this up and list it and sell it that way. So I was just accumulating way too much and I had to get rid of it. So that it kind of started into that venture. Um, I guess, well, I'll show you this too. From PRB, the best set that just came out. So in a case of boxes, there's 12 boxes in a case. Three of those boxes have what would be like a case hit. It's something similar in like baseball, basketball. Like you have a case hit
Right.
where it's like a super sought after card.
Mhm.
In the newest set, PRB Volume Two, there's in every five cases, I believe, there's this thing called a manga rare. It's super cool card. It's like $1,000, but then per case they have three boxes that will have like a gold Dawn. So, oh, this would be fun. Let me see. Well, we'll just do this. So for comparison, right? This is a Dawn. Just it's like a resource or something that you use to play in the game. So
Okay.
players will want like something fancy, um, to kind of just flex on people. Like
Right.
this
Like a
this is
trump
my deck.
card or something.
Yeah, like this
Yeah.
this is what I got. So it's like, excuse me, one of these will be in every pack, and then so I was able to get this one, which it's pretty crazy. I mean, some people know that it is crazy. It's a gold dawn, so three boxes in the case. So you have a 1 in 4 chance basically of getting one of these. But I was lucky enough to get one. So yeah, I mean it's super exciting. It's a fun hobby, something new. The
Mhm.
community's great. Little side gig action out of it too. So I can't complain. I'm really enjoying my time and it's branching out into newer card games and just having a good time.
Okay. Well, let's dive into it a little bit so that our listeners get a kind of a feel for for how this differs or how it's the same. Now, I did a little research just to prepare for the
Hmm.
show. And it looks like we'll start with Gundam because that was the last thing you talked about. It looks like that's been around for a long time, like 1979 or so, right? I
Yeah.
mean, Jesus Christ, I'm surprised I hadn't heard about it. I was born in 64. I should have grown up watching some of this or doing some of this. So maybe I was too cool for school too. But so from that time, no, now it's grown into somewhat of a competitor even to a Pokemon, right? Just to a different crowd of people. I mean, depending on what you like.
Yep.
And so tell me a little bit about the storyline. I mean, I don't understand why people are so crazy about the Pokemon characters, but I go from show to show and people talk to me about things and I understand value. So I bought a couple Charizards or whatever. And after this, I'll probably buy me some Gundam and some One Piece as well. But tell me a little bit about Gundam. I mean, the whole backstory, the characters. I mean, what is it that gravitated you to this genre rather than back to Pokemon?
Yeah, for sure. So, um, Gundam, it's been having like different cartoon spin-offs or anime spin-offs. What would you say, 1979?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a long time.
Long time.
I've watched now when it comes to Gundam, I don't, there must be 40 or 50 different, like, I guess you can call them seasons or chapters. So the
Hmm.
like for instance, the one that came out in 1979, it might have went on for 5 years and then stopped after that. And then the next one picked up, just had a similar premise to it. Like, um, like, hey, we got these mobile suits, like we got these fighting robots. Like fighting robots is cool. So
Hmm.
they just took, intellectual property of fighting robots and you know, it's it's very repetitive. It's very much so like same story, different characters, a little bit of a different narrative. I think it's more so to kind of attract people to like fighting robots or laser beams and space warfare, and all of these like futuristic sci-fi things, especially from 1979. Like that must have been cool. And like I don't know. I feel like a lot of kids will, dream about lightsabers or like even my nephew, he loves like Star Wars.
Hmm.
So lightsabers, laser beams, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and it's
And then,
kind of similar, I think, more like a kind of feels to me like a Transformers meets something,
yep.
Terminator or something, because there's some morality there too. It's some conflict between humans and robots and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, like I just since I got back into it, the card game itself came out maybe 6 months ago at this point.
mhm.
But 2 months ago, I went back and rewatched Gundam Seed and Justice just to kind of see, what it was like from, was it 2004, 2002, 2004. So that would have been something that I watched as a kid growing up. And
Yeah,
it's very like kind of paints people's differences, even though, I don't know. So there's like coordinators and like quote unquote normal people. So it's like tension and fighting against each other, even though they look the exact same and everybody's a human, like they're just fighting against each other. And it's just kind of drawing attention to like how silly it is to be quarreling and bickering when, at the end of the day, we're all the same.
right.
And I think that's kind of the message they try to get across is like, hey, even though we might be different in some ways or aspects, we're all still humans. We all still got to live on this planet. We all still got to like get along. Um, it's not the best at storytelling, but you can see that they try. It's more so that they're focused on, you know, giving lightsabers to robots
Yeah,
and like
well,
transformer-esque and
yeah, I
fighting.
mean it's Japanese, and all the way back from when I was watching Godzilla in my day. I mean, it's all about the fights.
Mhm.
And that's you know, so the dialogue and some other stuff may not live up to our standards, but the art, I mean, the art's outrageous. I mean, they
Yeah.
have their own feel. I mean, I was a big Speed Racer fan, and that was
Oh
Japanese.
yeah.
I mean, that's what I grew up on. Wish they had cards for that. Um,
They might. That'd be cool.
yeah, no, I need to look that up. But you mentioned Gun Seed. I'm looking here. There was right after that, there was Iron-Blooded Orphans. Then there was
Mhm.
The Witch from Mercury. So they had all these different universes, I guess, alternate universes.
Yeah.
Now, do they have product for all of those? I mean, I know the game just came out, or I mean, do you envision product for all of those, or how's that working?
Yeah, so like for instance, this right here, this is a starter deck. So this is like it's called Iron Bloom, but this is from Iron Blooded Orphans.
Okay.
So let's see. Let me grab something. I guess we can kind of. So this is my deck that I use to play competitively with.
Okay.
We'll go through a little bit of it. So like I guess a really recognizable character for most people would be like Amuro Ray.
Oh, he
This
looks like
is
he's from Speed Racer.
yeah, it's a really old, like one of the original Gundams, or like the original stories from Japan. And then this is kind of like when you think of a Gundam, this is like what most people picture.
Okay.
So these are from two different intellectual properties, like based around the Earth Federation.
So they're
And
kind of
then,
mixed in now that the game is there. Even the legendary characters are mixed in with this release.
right. So
Okay.
like for instance, here's two good cards. So these two cards, these are from the Iron-Blooded Orphans. So this is like the main character in the Iron-Blooded Orphans, and then this would be like his Gundam that
Okay.
he uses in the series.
So they have a
So,
robot that they use to fight.
yep,
Okay. And
yep,
that's what a Gundam is, your extension robot.
yep. So the your robot that you hop in and pilot, and that nobody else can really pilot, and then that carries over into the game. So like
Okay.
into the game, you can't attack anything or do anything to the other player with a pilot, but if you play a unit and then attach a pilot to it, then it makes it stronger.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of it's like, working in unison, a little bit of storytelling. It's using the intellectual property of the different Gundams or different verses or series, people's favorite characters, and just kind of mixing them all up. So I would say right now they probably have maybe six different series of the Gundam, you know, in the card game already. Um, but they're gonna keep on adding more, and that's what kind of makes it exciting and new is whenever a new set comes out, it's like, oh, I remember watching that as a kid, or that was my favorite Gundam that I've seen before. I want to, play with that, or it doesn't even have to be about playing. So like they could just be like, "Oh, I remember Kshatriya
Mhm.
from that one, and that's a cool card. I want to collect that card."
Right. Because you wouldn't play with that card, would you?
So this one, I wouldn't. No, I like to keep it a little basic for my cards. Um, so like anything in here, this is all just pretty much base level rarity.
Okay.
Where I do like to, I guess flex a little bit would be with these are like resources.
Okay.
So these are every turn you get one of these and then you pay a price to like put a unit on the field. So this one's super shiny. This is from the beta. So this is a beta resource. It's
Mhm.
going for like $50 a piece right now.
But you
So in
play with
my
that
Yeah, so like this is a pile of you have 10 resources. So throughout the game, you'll draw one and play with it. Um, so I don't have 10 of these. So I didn't drop $500 on resources. I got five.
one. Okay.
There's stored credit, so it's basically free, right? And then, they have these are like ultra rarity resources from the first Gundam set that they released. Um, So I will play with these, but I'm not like shuffling them up or playing them out. I'm real
You want to
careful
be
with
able to
them.
list them as lightly played and still in good condition, right? Yeah,
Yep, yeah. I keep them double, triple sleeved, so
I
then you
got you.
pop it out and everything's still good.
Got you. Got you. So, so that's interesting because in order to actually play competitively, some of those cards with value you do have to play with, or else you won't be competitive.
Yep.
I
So
get it. That's actually kind of cool. It's interesting, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of so.
yeah, I
Um,
do like that aspect of it. Just to touch on that real quick. So it's both good and bad. It's bad because it prevents new players from coming into the game and saying, oh, I want a competitive deck, and to get a competitive deck, I need four of those cards, and they might not be the super expensive ones, but they still might be $20 a piece.
Mhm.
So you got to spend, $160 to get, eight good cards for your deck just to have something competitive to play.
Yeah, but it's a
So,
demonstration of your commitment to winning the game, though. So when you get
exactly.
to tournament play, I mean, it's just like getting a good racket or a good bat or a good pair of shoes to up your game. So
Exactly. Yeah, that's a,
um
that's a good way to put it.
yeah. So let me take this into another direction though, because unlike other interviews, I haven't gotten as much history on how the game is played and how it connects to the value of cards and all. So I'm really enjoying this. But where do you see this now? We're gonna finish up Gundam here because I do want to touch on One Piece. But
Okay.
I mean, where do you see this going now that this is the first release? And I mean, what is a top selling card go for? Like one of the most popular people.
Okay, so um one of so if we take it back to like a case hit, right, from before.
Hmm.
Now with Gundam, every case has a case hit, and that for this set, it's a Gundam Aerial plus plus. So it's the super rare version. That's going ungraded, just raw. That's going for about $800 a piece right now.
Okay.
Um,
Aerial plus plus.
yep. So if you do a type in Gundam TCG Aerial plus plus, and you'll see you'll see on there the one that with all the paint splatter.
Hmm.
It's a $3,000 card raw. That's from the beta, so it's a little bit different. But you go to the LR plus plus, $673 on TCG Player right now.
Okay, now let's just compare that to a Pokemon character like a Charizard or whoever is popular. It's
Mhm.
been around, released in 1999 or something. And I don't know that you get that same value for a raw card.
No,
I mean, I mean, in your opinion, I mean, where's the future of Gundam? I mean, this could be outrageous,
could be. Yeah,
you
it
know?
could be. With Bandai, so Bandai they have about six card games. One Piece was one of them, and then Gundam's the newest one that they just came out with.
Mhm.
The other four that they've done some with Dragon Ball. They've done two with Dragon Ball. Both of those games are pretty much dead. Nobody plays them. The cards still have a little bit of value to them because the artwork looks cool, but the game's dead, so nobody's playing it. I think the fact that people are playing the game, and there's a lot of people out there that have a bunch of money that they want to spend and have all the best cards and the most rare versions of those cards in their deck, so they can walk up to play at a tournament, and they have $2,000 worth of cards in their hands,
Mhm.
and yep, I'm just playing with these, whatever, shuffling them, throwing them around. I mean, there's people like that, which I think is great too. But because it gives you that outlet where you don't have to have the rarest to play, but you do have that option. If you want to spend the money, go for it. You can spend that money. For the future of it going forward, I think the cards that like the super rare cards, like the case hit, those will retain their value. Different alternate art versions, those will retain the value too, just because people will continue to play them.
Mhm.
Or if the game's going, in the right direction and then there's more players, or there's even more people that see that there's a card game for Gundam, they'll say, "Oh, that card looks really cool. I just want to have that on my display."
Mhm.
Like you have some baseball cards and some bobbleheads back there.
Yeah.
They'll just throw it up on the shelf and look at it just to admire the artwork. And so I think the value will still it'll retain its value. I don't think it's going to skyrocket or go crazy, anytime soon. Um, because as far as I'm aware, for the first set of Gundam, they stopped printing the first set of Gundam. I could be wrong. But the fact that they're not printing any new cards, the price of the cards is just going to go up
Yeah.
because it's going to be harder to find.
Yeah. No,
Um,
and I think that there is something to so I get the Pokemon craze and I get the nostalgic value, but it's still a cartoon. I mean,
so-
it's still a child cartoon, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
This is more of an adult series. I think people can get into this and stay into this. I mean, I know anime has its craze going. Um, no, I think it's very interesting. I think I may have to grab some of this stuff now before the new stuff comes out. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Yeah, honestly,
because
I think that's a
it's
great
like getting in
idea.
on the ground floor. You know what I'm saying? Because the game just came out. And if
Exactly.
you're lucky enough to get some beta stuff, which came out 6 months ago in 2020, I think in December of 2024, if you're lucky enough to get that, then you can get these super high cards.
Oh yeah.
So that's really cool. I now what's the hit ratio? Do you know? I mean, you mentioned on the case, but like if you bought booster boxes, I guess there's no real way to tell because you don't know where those boxes come from, and they get split from the case, so you don't know.
Yeah, so you don't necessarily know. I mean, I'll give you a little bit of a tidbit, some insider information. The case hit normally tends to be on one of the bottom four boxes. So there'll be four, four, and then four. So
Hmm.
the top eight normally don't have the case hit in them. It's one of the bottom four. So if you can pick yourself out of a fresh case, go to the bottom.
I'll go to the bottom.
Uh,
Okay.
but out of every booster box, you're still guaranteed like two plus cards.
Mhm.
So you might get, one of these and a different version, right? So you'll get two alternate art cards. You'll get eight LR plus cards, which is just something simple like this. This
Okay.
guy's only $5. But there's other ones that are worth, $20.
Hmm.
So you'll get eight of these, and then each pack you get like a resource, which would be ooh, so like this would be at the very back of the pack. So there's a potential where you open a pack of cards. Let's just do it like this, right? So there's a potential where you open a pack of cards, you get one of these and one of these and a couple of these, but then you're like, oh dang, I got an alternate art, and then whoa, I got an alternate art for the resource as well.
Okay.
Um, so buying a box, you're guaranteed those three things. One hollow foil resource per box, two alternate arts, and then up to eight LR pluses. So it's 6 to 8 of like cards like this. Anywhere from
That's
five to $20.
I think that's reasonable. I mean, I don't know that you get that kind of distribution in a Pokemon box, do you? I don't
No,
think.
Pokemon, so there's no like guaranteed hits in a Pokemon booster box for English.
Yeah, see,
You
so
you
that's yeah.
Yeah, you go out, you spend $300 on the newest Mega Evolutions booster box. You open all the packs, and you might not get a single like illustration rare or
Yeah.
an alternate card. You might just like I saw this post on it might have been Reddit or Instagram where this individual went through an entire booster box of Mega Evolutions and just got eight EX cards. So got like eight of these.
Yeah.
And these are worth like 50 cents to a dollar. So
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
just it got screwed over.
Yeah. So
So,
so so the deal there is hold your sealed product if you get in Pokemon. Um
yeah, yep. Yeah, I don't know if you saw was it Wall Street Journal a couple weeks back came out with a report saying, Pokemon outperforms
yeah,
any
S&P.
S&P
Yeah.
index, any of those things, and it's
Yeah.
it's just sealed product. So
Yeah,
if you
sealed
buy
product.
Pokemon, keep it sealed, don't open it.
Yeah, because everybody wants to chase cars, so the value keeps going up because they think it's one in there. And then it's not like sports where the numbered cards expose themselves. You just don't know, you know. So
Right.
yeah, let's talk about One Piece.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So, Bandai, all of their card games are pretty similar, um, in the way that they're played. So, let's see. This is my One Piece deck that I'm running.
Okay.
So, whereas with um, let's do that. Whereas with Gundam, you have a resource, and uh, One Piece, you have this. It's called a Dawn. So you have 10 of these, and it's like every turn you get two more Dawn to where you can say, okay, I have a character that costs two. Let me rest my Dawn, so you're paying the cost to play the character out.
I got you.
So, that's where people would put like a crazy card like that. So they'll have, $1,000 in their Dawn.
It's interesting because I was reading something about this, and it's about some dude, Monkey D, trying to find this thing to become the Pirate King or something.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the main character, Monkey D. Luffy.
Okay.
Um, yeah, this it's been going on. I think it's the longest running show currently out. Um, it's been going on forever. That being said, within the next 5 years, it's going to wrap up and come to a conclusion. At least that's what the author says.
Mhm.
But yes, it's about, Monkey D. Luffy going through trials and tribulations to become the king of the pirates and find the One Piece. Um, so it follows him through these different arcs where, he goes to a new island and he meets this new guy named Sanji, and they become friends, and then Sanji joins his crew, and then it kind of progresses to the point where he builds up his crew, and then they're all getting stronger, and then they get the crap beat out of them, and then they go and they train and get stronger, and then they go back and they beat them. So it's just about progression and fighting back against the world government, and camaraderie, friendship, hard work. There's so many good videos out there I've seen on like Instagram Reels where people will break down the psychology of the different characters and
Mhm.
lessons from anything, but especially from One Piece, because originally it's definitely a kids cartoon,
Yeah.
or at least was at the inception. Um, yeah, I was just looking at something funny, but it's like a typical fighting anime where he uses his fist to punch and to fight people, and he uses his own power, not power from other people. He gets support and help, but it's about his journey to becoming the strongest person in the world, and making sure everybody's happy and fed and having a good life is
Mhm.
basically his shtick.
Okay. So a good guy, just trying to do right by society and everything else.
Yep, yep, and fight back against tyranny, and you know, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I
I
can see
didn't
how
I didn't think I would like it.
yeah, I can see how people could get into that. So now what are their cards going for? I mean, what would a Monkey D card go for, and how many versions of Monkey D do they have? How long has that been around the game?
The game's been around for about 3 years. They're coming up on their third year anniversary. Um, Now, for instance, the set that just came out, it's a premium set. They release one premium set a year, but normally they go by like One Piece 10. It'll be set 10 or 11 or OP 11 or OP 12. So they just came out with OP 12 a little bit ago, and before that they came out with OP 11. Now, even in a newer set like OP 11, one of the manga rares, which is the rarest card of Monkey D. Luffy, is going for like $2,700 raw.
Okay.
Now, that's one out of, on average, one out of every six cases, there will be one of those events. So there'll either be like the $3,000 one or the $1,500 one that's not like as gold and shiny and pretty. Um, but even if you take it back, so the One Piece market's kind of going crazy right now. I think a lot of Pokemon or card investors are getting into One Piece because they realize, how huge it is. And it's it's a relatively, I don't want to say it's a safe investment, but I think it's a smart move because these cards are so rare. And it's not like Bandai is printing as many cards as Pokemon is printing with their millions and billions of cards printed each year.
Hmm.
They print, such a smaller amount compared to that. So it's like these cards, these manga rares, one out of every six boxes or six cases, tend to retain their value, especially of like notable characters. So like Nami is a notable character, Zoro is a notable character. Um, Gold D. Roger is a notable character, and all of these different manga rares go for different prices. So, like for instance, there's a Gold D. Roger manga card from OP09. So what, 4 sets ago? That's worth $10,000.
Okay.
$10,000 raw, which is crazy.
And each set comes out once a year or twice a year?
So they'll normally do four normal sets a year. So they'll do like 10, 11, 12, 13 a year. And then each year they also do
So
a premium
quarterly.
set.
So that set's only 2 years old.
So the set from the OPO9 set
Yeah.
that has the $10,000 card, that's a little bit, like about a year old.
Yeah, year and a half old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not even,
Yeah, no, it's
two
not
years or
even
3 years.
aged.
It's
Yeah, no, I
crazy.
mean, I would tend to just based on this conversation think that the value is probably better. Now, what would a pack cost before I make that assumption? I mean, if I wanted to buy a box very similar to buying a booster box, 36 packs or whatever. I mean, how do they come?
Yep. So, say you wanted to get just a single pack.
Hmm.
You would walk into Target, go to the card aisle, and I tore this one, but you would see something similar to this like hanging on the wall. This would be $4.99. And now there is the possibility to hit, you know, um, that gold card that I showed you, if I can find wherever I put that. Like there's a possibility to hit that out of this set, but then there's also the possibility to hit $1,000 manga rare card out of this set too. Now, I mean, given on past trends, the manga card, which is a Sanji from PRBO2, in a year from now, that'll probably be worth like $2,000 if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Because the
So,
premium sets, they just don't print a lot of them. So
so,
supply and demand.
so when you say premium set, normal set, is that kind of like a hobby box versus a standard box? But if I go to Target, I could still get a premium pack or no? I
Yep.
can't.
Yeah, you definitely can, which is nice, and it's a good thing that Bandai does. They put out every set that they come out with, they'll come out with like the individual packs and they'll put those on the wall. So, a kid can say, "Oh, it's, Luffy. I want to get that." Since there's never any Pokemon, there's
Hmm.
normally One Piece. So they can still kind of experience what it's like to open the cards and, have that joy and excitement of, hitting a big card.
Hmm.
And it's same price as a Pokemon pack. But I think there's definitely more value in a single pack of One Piece versus a pack of Pokemon.
Yeah. And what you're saying is right now the craze isn't such that they're all sold out everywhere you go.
Correct. Yep. So even I mean, so where I'm at, Walmart has no limits. So if you go to a Walmart, you're not going to find anything. The people, the scalpers, they go there, they camp out the night
They just buy
before.
them all. Yeah.
They're stalking the people that are restocking the shelves, and they buy everything off the shelf. So they'll buy all the One Piece, all the Pokemon, all the good, sports cards packs too. They'll buy all of that and resell it. Whereas like the Targets by me where I live, they have a 2 pack, maximum. So you can go in and get 2 packs at a time. And that'll keep stock on the shelves for maybe 5 days. And they restock every single week at the same time. So you can learn the restock times and figure out when to get there. But with One Piece, there's not a real rush. It's like, oh, hey, I actually got stuff to do. I'm not going to go camp out in front of the store. I can't do that. I don't have the time, energy, anything like that. Or, hey, I got to work a double shift. When I get off, I got to stop at Target, pick up some groceries, diapers, whatever. Oh, and they have some Pokemon or some One Piece.
Right.
That's
Then
cool.
you
I can
can.
do that because it's fun. It's a little bit like gambling for
Yeah.
sure. There's a different value aspect to it, I think. Um, but a lot of it does kind of resonate with gambling. But you at least get something for what you pay for, not where you buy a $5 scratch off and you don't win anything.
At least you're getting something for it, right?
For
I mean,
sure.
there's that, and you still get to feel that chance factor, but you
Oh
come
yeah.
out with something, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's lesser value, you come out with something.
Yeah, you come out with something like I would probably say 95% of the time you open a Pokemon pack, you can sell each one of those cards for a penny to a game shop that will buy it. So you might get 12 cents for
Mhm,
every $5 you spend on a Pokemon pack.
mhm.
Whereas with a One Piece pack, um, you're just gonna get more value out of it because they have different rarity cards, and an SR is like one in every 5 packs, and those can sell for up to $12 a piece. Normally, no, but you'd at least get like $1 or so. So there's a little bit more value proposition in the One Piece
So
than the
basically, if
Pokemon.
you were to go every 5 packs, you break even.
Roughly, yeah, but I
Right.
would I would probably say that might be a little bit of a stretch, but I think in one way, shape, or form you do break even. Is it the total value that a card shop's going to pay you? No, because they have to make money too.
Yeah.
But theoretically, every 5 packs, you're going to get a card that's worth more than the whole pack.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it balances out pretty well.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, yeah,
Well, this was interesting conversation. I learned a lot, and I think I'm in the market for some different kinds of cards now. But before we go, is there anything you want to say to close out? Tell them how they can find you on TCG Player or eBay or wherever you may sell. Anything like that?
yeah, for sure. I mean, first off, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun. I've never done anything like this, so I really do appreciate you reaching out and making time, especially so late at night. But this was fun. I had a blast. You can find me at OH_Gello, GELLO, on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. My TCG player shop, it's just Jello. I don't have crazy amounts of stuff up there, but if you're looking for some Gundam or One Piece, check me out. But thanks again, Rob. I really appreciate your time.
No, man, I appreciate you coming on, and I learned a lot, and I'm sure that our listeners did too. So, yeah, I appreciate you.
Yeah, we could do it again too. So if you pick up some One Piece cards or some Gundam cards, let me know. Well, I'll rate your purchases.
Okay, will do. I'm gonna hold you to that. Well, look, I appreciate your time, and yeah, I'll talk then. We'll talk
Of
then.
course.
All right.
Sweet. Thank you.